Hello, everyone. You guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and we are the #1 Internet Singles Talk Network, and this is the Boy and Girl Show, and I have with me Kathy Lamb. Hey, Kathy.
Hi. Hello, everyone. How are you tonight?
Well, guess what, Kathy? We don't have Derek tonight. He wasn't feeling well. No boy on the Boy and Girl Show tonight.
He doesn't know what he's missing.
Or he probably could watch it. I don't know. He could be watching this right now. We have no idea.
Hi, Derek.
But tonight our topic is how to look stylish and self-assured on your first date. And then, of course, because Derek's not here, we can talk about whatever we want. So we can lead into this topic. So what do you think about this topic?
Well, are we talking about men or women looking stylish and self-confident?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll start out with myself.
Okay.
For a woman to mostly we're good at it anyway, and we like to dress up and we like to present ourselves, and we just want to be happy with how we look when we walk out the door, and sometimes there's some people that really don't care, and they're be like, well, if they don't like it, too bad. You don't really want to be like that, because you don't get what is the word I want to think? What I want to say? You get better feedback from people when you think you look good, and because you're coming out with oh my gosh, the wine is getting
self-confidence.
Self-confidence.
I should drink. I was going to drink wine and then I didn't. But
you're coming out self-confident, and you get a better response from people, and you end up having a better time. If you don't feel good about yourself, you may end up being a wildflower, and you may end up with negative feelings, and you may end up just sitting there boo-hooing over yourself. So dress up, feel good about yourself, and go out there and paint the town red.
Well, I was told one time by my mom that you should always be like, if you're going to do, I think going on your first date is kind of like a job interview, right? And so you always want to be one step up. You always want to look a little bit better. So if he says, for instance, to go casual, be casual, but be a nice, dressy kind of casual, so go a little bit, because you only have that one shot to make a good impression.
I found though, when he says dress casual, he really means casual. I mean,
so she would say, so casual means a shower or no shower.
Right.
What does that mean exactly?
Step in, he just took a walk from the beach and he's coming to meet you. And that's casual. And to me, casual is like, no matter, even if they do say casual, I still dress up, not my very best, but I still dress, it's like, I'll still wear jeans, but I still would wear makeup. Too bad they don't have to wear makeup.
Maybe they should.
They should. Men don't know the work that women go through to present themselves, and make a good impression.
Yeah. Well, I did a little research, like I always do. And it said, I found this on AARP, right, for over 50. Mm-hmm. And it said, loosen your hair. So a lot of times, ladies that were a little bit older, we tend to pull our hair back and be more severe with our hair. So it says that we should loosen our hair, be flirty bangs, and be a little loose. And I think that's because the guys like that bed look. They like you to be. Remember we talked about that last night when you had all your curly hair?
The messy bedhead look.
Yeah, they like that messy bedhead look. So, I mean,
I would like for some guys to call in and give us some feedback.
Yeah, I would like to know that about if they like that messy bedhead look, because My messy bedhead look does not look like like this. I mean,
And my,
and I don't think that's sexy.
a
What
lot
do
of
you
times,
think?
my messy bedhead looks okay. You know, I get up in the morning, first thing I do is I go and brush my teeth and look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, my hair looks good.
I know. You look at, well, that's okay. That's a whole nother show. But like when you get up, right? And they're like still sleeping, you try to get up and make yourself look halfway presentable,
Oh
brush
yeah,
your
yeah,
teeth. But that's a whole nother show. We won't go there.
Okay, we'll make that one of the shows.
Yeah, what to do after. Be highly visible from the waist up. I like that one. It basically what they were saying was that it'd be maybe wear bright colors or something like that. Be,
The
really
waist down?
from the waist up. So because
Oh,
like when you're talking to them and they're having conversation with you, you have bright colors on or whatever, and that you look good. But come on, ladies, they don't need to see your hooters. They're going to be seeing them hopefully eventually. So you don't want to show, you don't want to show everything, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
a
Maybe
little cleavage. I think a little cleavage is
yeah,
nice.
just a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little secret going on there,
Little
but they don't
sneaky.
need
Yeah,
the whole.
yeah.
They got to work for that, don't you
I
think?
think so too.
Yeah, they got
I
to
think
work for
so
that.
too.
Yeah, we're not going to show them all of that. Maybe a little leg, little
Yeah,
cleavage.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's right. See, Derek should be here. love to hear his opinion on there. Okay, show off your best, but keep the rest to yourself. So I think that's really good advice. Really, for anything that you do, you wanted to lead in with your best, right?
And your best it would be what your personality or your what are you talking about? Physical or mentally?
Well, we're talking about dress. We're talking about the way you look. So I would say, but yeah, I'm going to lead with my personality because that's my the best asset I got going with
That's what
me.
I'm trying to think of. What is my best here?
Like, don't look at the rear. Keep going the forward.
What's the best? Well, that's where when you kind of meet, you're gonna be talking and you're gonna present your personality to
Yeah.
them, and you're gonna say what you like, what you don't like, and hopefully the best will be what he thinks is the best too. That's if you like him too.
Well, see here, I think that's a female statement because I wonder if what Derek would say, but I think that women, we tend to think, oh, he's going to like our personality, that kind of thing. But really, on the first date, it's very visual, and so he's looking at all kinds of stuff.
And you're
He's
right.
looking at your lips, and he's looking at your hair, and he's looking at your body language.
Well, we're looking at that too, aren't we?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And the first thing is like, do they smell good?
Yeah, we're looking at it.
Yeah.
Smell, yeah, that's a big thing. If they come in and they're smelling like they just got done working on a car.
And they got the handprints. They got to leave
Or,
handprints.
they and if they just got off the beach, I kind of like the beach smell actually, but I have to be expecting it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, or participating in that beach smell. Hey, so what is the thing that really turned you off? Like when you first meet for the first time, what would really turn you off? Like in their appearance.
in their appearance,
Mhm.
when their clothes are out of style, that
Mm.
kind of is like, yeah, okay, he needs some work, and and I just that kind of yeah
Yeah, that would kind of turn you off.
yeah
Bringing his mom would be a little.
yeah that would be
That would be a real downer.
yeah.
No, I agree. I think hygiene to me, it's like I have got a big thing about like long fingernails. I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
I hate long fingernails on a guy.
Dirty fingernails.
Yeah, and so to me, hygiene is very important, and so, I want that look of appearance that they have they've spent some time taking care of themselves before they even came. And so, yeah, that would be a turn off for me.
Or having a toothpick hanging out of their mouth.
Yeah. And I'm not into smoking, so smoking would kind of turn me off too a little bit. Yeah. I'm not really into that. But so what else? Let's see what else kind of thing would be a turn off for a girl. So do you, when you meet a guy for the first time, what about the initial approach? What do you think about that? You know, like when you're first approaching each other, do you think you should come early, or should he be there early before you? What do you think?
It all depends. Sometimes I want to be there first. I don't know why, but there's times when I feel like I want to be there first, and then there's times when I'm like, I'm not sure about this person, and yeah, let them be there first, and well, you know, it's a first meeting is weird because, you know, sometimes you talk for a phone and sometimes you don't, and me, I'd rather not talk that much on the phone because you already get sort of a relationship, but you don't have a visual to go with it, so you have a mental visual. And when you have that mental visual and you go and you finally meet, a lot of times it's a letdown because you don't know, you know, you had something totally different in mind, you know, even though you saw the picture was 10 years old. Hi.
Yeah, that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad when, hey, Bill, I'm glad you're trimming your nails. Maybe there'll be an inspection later.
I want to see your nails, Bill.
That's right. We have to take a picture and send us a picture of your nails so we can see. Because I tell you what, right now with the coronavirus, us ladies, we're really needing a manicure. So.
Yeah. I've been letting my nails have a breather, but I was thinking about painting them today.
I've been lucky that mine is actually held up, you know, pretty good. And but I'm really laughing. Are you laughing at us, Bill? You're not laughing at us.
Bill,
Bill's a cutie too, by the way. But I don't know, Bill, are you still single? What do you got in your mouth there, Bill?
Yeah, what is that?
But Bill's a cutie. Are you still single? I can introduce you here to my good friend, Kathy. How about that?
Bill, do you like women with nail polish?
I think he likes any women. He likes, tell me, Bill. And they just got to be breathing for Bill.
Okay.
He says yes. Yes, I'm going to say yes on the breathing or yes on the nails.
We're breathing here, Bill.
No, but he's a heck yes.
So, Bill, what are you hearing?
But you know what? He's really a super guy, super nice guy. And he came over and helped me with some honeydew things, which was very sweet. And I'm very
really nice.
Yeah, when I moved in here, he helped me with my cabinet getting it worked in and stuff like that. So yeah, we're good friends. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, he's from the fashion industry. So it's important.
Really?
For ladies to look nice, right, Bill? You want a lady to look nice.
So give us some advice.
Yeah. So so I think that's important, and to smell nice and things like that. I think one time I wore a dress with him and he didn't like the dress that I wore. And he told me, but he told me in a very nice way. Do you remember that, Bill, about that one dress you said you didn't like? Oh yeah. A stone crab.
A stone crab?
I think he took me out to dinner and he didn't. I was trying to look nice, and somebody had told me I looked good in this dress, and so I wore this dress. And then he said, "That's not my favorite dress," or something like that. I thought, okay, but we are very good friends now. Yeah, we that was
that's good.
We're friends.
That's good. You know, you could be friends enough to where you can say what.
Yeah, and
to be able to tell me, does this look okay? And if he says no, I'm like, well, good. And now I know I can go change.
That's right. So take me shopping.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I have a friend that
I'm with you.
Okay, you go first.
I was just saying, I'm with you on that. I would rather him tell me in a nice way. Yeah, I do not ever want him to say you look really fat in that outfit. Okay, that's a bummer.
I have a friend. I have
He
a man
doesn't
friend.
obviously the dress that I wore wasn't lasting. It wasn't a lasting impression with him. Dad's doing pretty good actually, though. Thanks for asking. But yeah, what were we saying now?
I was
Still
about
something
to say something. I said,
got me off flustered. Go ahead.
I have a man friend that likes to go shopping with me, when I'm in the mood for buying clothes. And, I really enjoy him coming with me because, I can go try stuff on. I come out out of the dressing room and say, how does this look? And he can tell me, and he enjoys doing that. And so, he's just a friend.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where we need good guy friends. I've got several good guy friends. Bill's one of them. Calvin, Calvin's a really good friend of mine. We're just guy friends.
Wouldn't it be fun to have a get together to go shopping together for guys and girls, and we can pick out each other's
like to go clothes shopping.
You
I
don't?
think because I've gained weight. I feel like I've gained weight, which I know I have, and I'm going to lose weight. But I feel insecure about it.
Oh, okay.
So even if it's a guy friend, I just hate to,
Yeah.
I've never been that with clothes. Even when I was the thinnest, when when I was thin, and I even did a little bit of modeling when I was in high school, and things like that. And I've always been insecure about the way I look. I've always felt that way.
Did you ever see that show on TV? It's been a few years. I don't know if they still have it on now, where they have a woman that are different sizes, and they go on stage with just their panties and bra on, and they have somebody that they're working with who's very self-conscious about her body, and they'll say, okay, which one do you think that you are? And she'll pick out somebody that's much bigger than her, and because she's feeling that's how she is. And then they'll say, okay, they'll take other people and say, what do you, oh yeah, they'll put her poster on a billboard or something, and they'll ask people what their opinions are of this woman's body. She has just her panties and underwear on, and they'll show her what their opinions were because they taped it, and they were saying, oh, she's got a beautiful body. Everybody was saying all these good comments about her when she thought that she looked bad.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, we're not sometimes kind to ourselves, but I have always been insecure about the way I look. I have to admit, I've always been, and starting to do when I started out into doing radio, live streaming radio, I was okay with it because people couldn't see me. Then when I started doing, on the camera and stuff, that was really a total meltdown for me, worrying about it. And even still to this day, I get very insecure about the way I look. But I look at it this way. It's, to me, if the content that I show, that I'm able to bring across is valuable and maybe helps people and change their lives, that's what it's about. It's not really about me at all. And the same thing with all the other shows that we have on the Going Solo Network. They're all about helping people. And so, we're not about the glitz and glam. We make mistakes. We do stupid things. Like I just put a video up, like a little commercial thing that I made for a new website that I developed, Going Solo Together. And I don't know, maybe Facebook or whatever won't let the volume here. So there you see me talking.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Facebook or what. Even on YouTube, it was on Facebook, so I think Facebook cut it, and then you can't hear it even on YouTube. So I'm gonna have to have that edited. But anyhow, so it's it is true about our insecurities. And so then when we're doing that dating, we're going on that date, that first date, it's really our insecurities that truly we have to overcome. And so I think dressing for the first date is really vital because it shows an essence of who we are, on the outside versus on the inside. And so that is truly kind of important, to make sure that we are groomed properly, we smell good and we look good, and we try to come, visually across.
Yes. And, I've run across this several times where, and in my mind, I'm thinking that this is what the guy is thinking before he headed out to meet me. Well, she don't like it too bad, you know, and when I meet them and I see that they're not dressed nice and, you know, they didn't go take any effort at all. I'm thinking this guy just doesn't care, you know, and he never will care. And he'll always treat me like that. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he just went downhill real fast.
Well, here's the reality. If you're meeting someone for the first time and they don't attempt to put their best foot forward, can you imagine what their everyday life is like?
We'll never try.
We don't look every day, you know, like half the time during the day I have my hair in a ponytail, and maybe I might go a day without wearing makeup or something like that. And, you know, I mean, so you don't always look your best.
Right.
If you're where you need to look your best and you actually are looking your worst, mm-hmm. then what are you saying? You're saying, listen, I don't really take dating seriously, or I am so friggin' insecure in my life that I'm afraid to have you in my life. So I'm going to do everything I can to mess it up.
Or he's saying, this is my life and there's nothing you can do to they have this thing about women changing them. They think that women are trying to change them. Their rebellious side coming up and saying, this is me. You either take it or you leave it.
I know. You know, the last guy I dated, he used to say that crap to me all the time. You take it or you leave it, that kind of thing. But on the same,
what I am.
Right. He would say that too. But then he would want me to be different.
Yeah.
He'd want me to change. He doesn't want it to change. And the reality is we both have to change. We both have to compromise.
Yeah. And that's the reality of it is that you're not trying to change anybody. You're trying to come together and blend with each other's lives. And everybody has to make changes if they want to blend, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And if you're not, and you're a bully like that, who wants to be with you?
Yeah.
You know, somebody says that to you. Well, I am who I am, and you just have to accept it.
Yeah, well, go be yourself somewhere else.
Well, let me see if I can, and you know, and if I can't accept who you are, then you're just really the wrong person for me. Because the one that really cares about me, or cares about you, or cares about the woman out there, the guy is going to say, "Listen, she's of value, and I can learn something here from her. You know, I want to be with her. And so I want to make her happy." And so when you've got a guy that's saying, you can just, you know, you be thankful.
Always be like,
you're with the wrong person.
Yeah, you will always be like that. And if you don't have it, that's really selfish. And if you're going to be with somebody who's selfish like that, who's not going to lift a finger to please you in any way, you know, then they can't expect anything from you either. So where is that going? Nowhere.
Right. Let's talk a little bit, Kathy, about this self-assuredness, right? Because I think a lot of times those that have a little bit of self-confidence, I think men are very attractive to a woman that has some self-confidence. I mean, have you ever, and for me, being a woman watching a man, seeing a guy walk into a room, standing straight up, you know, I mean, there's just nothing better than seeing a self-confident guy, you know, that's dressed smart, looks good. He's opened the door for you. He's polite. I mean, to me, that is like, yo, I'm like, you've got my attention.
Yeah.
You know, all the way. And I think men are like that too with self-confidence. They want a woman that is not, you know, not going to be mousy, I don't feel. I mean, there are men that do like mousy women. I'm not going to say they don't, but I think most men, they want a self-confident woman, one that can hold a conversation and, you know, be of interest. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think so too. And I think that it's, why do you think that they like it?
What? The self-confidence?
Yeah.
Because I think that I think it's because they would find you interesting. You're more of a match for them versus, you know, not someone that's mousy and you know, is kind of, and when I say mousy, I mean someone that's just like, Yes, yes, yes.
Agrees with everything. Yeah.
They're not that interesting. It's like, well, the guy has to make all the decisions, and
Yeah.
and I'm very easygoing. So a lot of times, if they say, well, do you want to do this or this or that? I don't really care. I mean, I just want to be with you. I mean,
And
as
that's
long
the way
as we're not bungee jumping or something like that, I'll say no. But if it's like, I don't care if we go to a
That's
state
exactly
place.
the way I am too. I'm like, okay, as long as I'm with you and I really like you, I'll do, I'm about to say I'll do anything, but that's not what I meant. I'll I'll have
Okay,
fun
what do you mean?
but yeah, whatever ideas that they come up with, I'm just like, I'm right there with it. I can get into it, but I really don't like a guy to be indecisive and likes for me to make all the decisions on what to do, especially in the beginning. But I like for them to show that they have the ability to make decisions and not follow me around like I'm their mother or something.
Oh, well, yeah. And I like a man with a plan. I love that.
I do too. I
a
don't
lot
even
of
mind
guys.
if they. I don't even mind if they pick if we're at a restaurant and they choose what I'm going to eat there. I kind of like that.
Oh, I don't know about that because I don't like seafood.
Don't cut my meat for me.
Yeah. I guess, I don't really care. I remember my ex-husband, he used to kind of do that because there were some places he would take me to that I've never been before. And he would say, oh, this is good. But of course, he would always ask, do you like seafood or do you like this or that? And if I didn't like it, he, of course, wouldn't order that. So that's not a real big thing. I guess you just don't want someone manipulating you. You don't want to feel like you're being manipulated. But you want someone that's caring and it's nothing worse than being on a date with someone and they have no idea where they're going to take you or what they're going to do. And it's like, you didn't put any thought in this at all, and now I have to think about where we're going to go and what we're going to do. And it's like, I don't know. And I don't know you that well.
Yeah, I've done that. I've put in a lot of effort for these guys, that I've like say, you pick the place, and my damn, really, it's like, can't they do it once in a while?
Yeah, because
some of them are thinking, well, I want her to pick a place where she's comfortable because we're meeting for the first time, and that's nice that they're thinking that way, but I guess I should give them that credit for that.
Yeah,
I'd rather not pick the place.
Yeah, I mean, if that's truly what it is, and he wants you to be comfortable, and he says that, yeah, I think that's great. But to go on a date, like after your first date, go on your first meeting, I don't even call it a date. I think when you first meet someone, I don't call it a date. Yeah, because I to me, they have like the 3-date rule, whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. They have a 3-day thing. You're not counting the meetup in a 3-day rule. Yeah. And so plus I don't know if it's, if it's going to be anything more than, oh, hi. Okay. Really great to meet you. And goodbye. I don't know what it's going to be like. So yeah, so it's just a meeting kind of, to see whether there's going to be another meeting. But for the guys, it needs to be the first meeting needs to be getting that second meeting. You want that next date. And if he doesn't ask you out right then for that next date, I don't think he's that into you.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So.
And maybe he's waiting for you to say something, like, oh, I have said things, like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in you. I hope we see each other again. But then, I don't know. I think this online dating thing is just too much. There's way too many women out there. They're like, oh, well, let me go out with her. Let me go out with her. And then by the time they, they've figured it all out and go back to you. Sometimes guys have called me back a year later, like, hey, how you doing?
I'm with somebody. You lost.
That happens a lot, a year or 2 years later, you hear from them. But I have bad feelings about it, because that's just the way it is. That's the way it works out. We become.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way: is that a guy, and maybe I'm looking at it wrong because I'm looking at it from a woman's perspective, but I think that when you're first meeting somebody, the guy knows then whether he wants to ask you out again. If he truly just wants to play the field, then you haven't really captured enough for him.
Right.
So you haven't like hooked him, that kind of, you haven't really, so that kind of thing. And so that's fine. If that's the case, then you just move on and you haven't really vested too much time in it. So don't worry about it. But the guy, most of the time, if he likes you and he's into you, all it takes is for you to say, gosh, I really had a great time. And right away, he'll be hopping on, oh, well, that's great. Let's, you want to get together again. He's going to go for that second date, and if he doesn't, then he's playing games a little bit, if he waits until you get home or whatever. And now when you get home, I always send another message out or something like that saying, listen, I had a wonderful time, dinner was great, or, company was awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That kind of thing. I always do that.
I do too.
Because I feel like the guys, especially if they pay for it, they pay for the dinner, they pay for the meeting, you gotta
thank you
something,
Yeah.
And it's polite. And so, yeah. And
it is all about manners too, And if you walk away and nobody says anything, it's like, God, why did I spend my time? I used my time. He used his time. I gave him feedback. He didn't give me feedback. What, was that what was that 2 hours all about? There was this person again.
If he didn't give you feedback, he's not that into you.
Yeah.
Because they want you. They want to lock you down. They don't want you going out on another date with somebody else. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you go on that next date, the next few dates, if he doesn't say that he's exclusive with you, he's not that into you. He's still got that foot out the door, and he's still looking online, and he's still doing whatever, and then you have to make a decision whether you want to continue seeing him or not, or if you want to continue seeing him and you just keep seeing other people too.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe eventually the relationship because there may be some mixed things going on, underlying things there, especially coming from a relationship loss. There might be other stuff going on there that hasn't been dealt with. And so maybe that's why it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. But I think if we're in the dating world, that means we want a relationship with somebody of some sort. We haven't maybe clarified exactly what that is yet. Down the road, we will. But yeah, they need to hop on.
Okay, going back to style now. I just had a thought.
Okay.
I don't like the open shirt man. The guy has the open shirt with the big gold on it. The big gold chain. What do you think about that?
The gold tooth and the gold tooth.
Oh, the gold tooth too. I don't like that either. But the gold chain, the big gold chain. Oh, that looks awesome.
Gold medallion, the big gold medallion, and the hairy chest, and the white patent leather shoes.
I do like a hairy chest. I love a hairy chest. I don't know. There's something about a hairy chest that I love, and I wish the guys would stop shaving it.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me whether it's hairy or not. I mean, I don't care. Look, Vinny. Bill says Vinny. Yeah, you're right. We're talking about the Vinny guy. The Vinny guy. We don't.
Are you still there, Bill?
He's still here. He's still hanging out.
Bill, do you have a hairy chest?
Bill, do you have a hairy chest? I'm not telling. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying nothing because we're friends, and I'm not going to say nothing. But yeah, it's okay. Let me ask you. Should he bring flowers? Should he bring something?
That's really up to him. The first meeting, I would say no, because it's actually kind of inconvenient. I did have somebody bring me flowers on a first meeting, and we met at a restaurant, and, he meets me at the door with this thing of flowers. I'm like, where do I put them? And it was really, really nice. It was beautiful flowers and really nice thought and everything. But he didn't know if he was going to like me or not. And, I think that he should save that for maybe the first date, not the first meeting.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Let's see. Yep, still here. No, okay. He goes, yep, still here. No hair, like a playground with no grass.
Oh, well.
I kept my mouth shut. But I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't break my heart if they don't, but I am very touched if they do.
Yeah. It's a very thoughtful, sweet thing to do. And
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be
but I shared this before. The one guy that I dated a long time ago, Frank. It was Frank, and I really was into him, and he when we met and everything, and that was good, and then we went out. Where'd we go out? Yeah, and he asked me when we met. He asked me what I like to drink. I said, well, really, my favorite drink is champagne, but I don't always drink it. I mean, that's my favorite thing. And so when he met me for the date, he brought, he lost, you can't hear us. Well, sometimes when you can't hear women, it's actually a good thing. But but he brought me, he had a cooler with the champagne chilled and the champagne glasses and the whole 9 yards. And he had all of that. And I was so touched by that because he remembered what I truly liked.
Yeah.
And, and it was, I don't remember if he brought flowers or not, but I remember the first date he just went all out, and that was very, very, very touching. And
that is really nice,
Yeah. And that really does get our attention when you listen to something that we like. If there's a flower we like or something that we like, and you do that, it really does make us happy,
Yeah.
And that's really all about it. It's a guy just trying to make you happy,
That was actually something my second husband, he used to say that when we went out on dates, that he always knew that I was listening to him because, if he'd say, how he likes a woman to dress, well, the next date I would be dressing like that, and he said he can tell. He said, you listen to me, you do all the stuff that that I talk about, and so. Yeah, it's nice to know that when you talk about what your likes and dislikes are, that they are paying attention.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Well, we're trying to connect, when we're dating. I mean, that's really what we're trying to do, is really kind of connect like that. And so, and I think it's important to have a little mystery too, so you don't want to, like I think some women feel like they have to show a lot of stuff, they have to show their physique off and all of this kind of stuff. And I don't think you necessarily have to do that, because
I know what you mean.
You have to remember, what are you in it for? Are you in it for, if you're totally in it for, the sexual part of it, then whatever. But if you're truly in it to build a relationship with someone, then it doesn't really matter, what you're wearing, and that will come, that type of stuff will come.
Yeah.
Let's see what else this article said, if there was anything else that we want to talk about. Show your best off. Oh, don't look like you're trying too hard. Have an edge. I thought that was kind of, again, it's a mystery. Men like mystery, and they talk about wearing like maybe something that is like snake skin or animal print or something. And they're talking about wearing, maybe have a little bit of a see-through-y kind of with a black bra, or it constantly happens to me. My bra straps are constantly showing. I just don't know what it is about my shoulders. And I remember one guy loved that because, I usually wear a black bra, and the black strap would always show. And he just loved that. Black bra.
Your underclothes are showing.
I don't know why, they just keep popping out, but yeah. So, but anyhow, so, I guess having that little bit of a mystery, I think that's a dress that Bill didn't like. It was like a see-through-y kind of he didn't like it. So actually, Bill, I will tell you, I got rid of the dress the next day. When I come home, I got rid of the dress. I didn't wear it again after that. So let's see what else it says. I have it up here. Um, oh, let your eyes speak with your makeup. Don't wear too much makeup, you know. Oh, and this I thought was interesting. It said, say yes to last minute dates. You know, so often we're told not to go
Yeah,
on a date at the last minute. What do you think about that?
I agree. I love spontaneity, and you know, somebody calls me up and says, "Hey, I'm going to this place. You want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love that. I love that." So,
Mhm.
yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, as long as you got enough time to get yourself ready, you know
Yeah,
what to expect. I don't see. I mean, you might not want to do that on your very first date. You know, you might want to, you
yeah,
know,
because you want to
not.
feel them out and see, you know, what type of person is.
But I mean, I don't think we should play games. What do you think? I mean, if we're into somebody, be into them. I mean, you know, what do you think?
Well, you don't know if they're playing games or not. That's the whole problem with it. Is that I got this funny video. I wonder if I could find it, but you just it's always like, well, I want to tell him this, but then, you know, he might think that I'm this, and then and so I better not do this. I'll do this instead. And you know, you got these head things going on in your head. You don't know really how much of your feelings you can show because you know they're probably thinking the same thing. And so we're just doing this mind game with ourselves. And you know, if we could just say right up front, say, okay, I'm meeting you. Whatever you think, say it.
I know, I know, really. Yeah. It's just be upfront. If you like me or you don't like me, you want to be just friends with me. And I mean, because I'm not offended by that. If I meet someone and it doesn't really, you know, gel with them, yeah, I would prefer to know before we're intimate, though. That kind of hurts my
Oh
feelings
yeah, yeah.
if we've gone down the road and we start to be intimate. And then I think there's a relationship happening, starting to build a relationship, and then it's like, oh, it pulls back from there. That kind of hurts my heart a little
Oh,
bit,
it
but
does.
but it happens, you know. I mean, things do happen, and you know, I mean, that is such as life, you know, that kind of thing. As long
Yeah,
as you know, kind of part in a nice way, it's okay.
yeah.
But if you do like each other, then I think it's beautiful to kind of share that and say, you know, listen, I had a great time, you know, I think it's awesome if he says, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. I mean, that makes my
I
heart
think it's
flutter, you
also
know?
the fear of being rejected if you say something like, "Hey, look, I had a really good time and I would really love to do this again." And then, which has happened to me before, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're a wonderful woman, but," you know, and then you're kind of afraid to do that again because you just kind of put yourself out there and you got knocked down. But you know, you can't help it. He didn't feel it. So, um, but you just kind of have psychological feelings about doing that again.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it does really kind of, you know, affect your heart. You know, it truly does because you want something more and you've met someone you think there's a possibility with. And so you're thinking, will this work? And you're worried about, you know, overstepping or saying something maybe you shouldn't or going too fast or whatever. And like, what a guy's going to think about you if you lay it on the table too much and that kind of thing. So it's just a balance that we all
The thing
experience.
the thing
Yeah.
is he really did me a favor. You know, when they do that, they say you're a great woman, but well, he's doing you a favor because you're like, okay, moving on. Next, you know, you have that closure there. You can say, okay, he didn't feel it. I got to go. You know, keep looking.
Right, right, absolutely. And I think it's the worst thing is if they say, and we do it too. I think us women do it too. We say, "Oh yeah, it was really great," you know, because I remember I had a guy ask me one time. He goes, "So will you see me again? So if I call you, we're going to go out again?" And I said, "Yeah," you know, and I thought, "Yeah, I'll go out with him again." But then after that, I kept thinking, why would he say that like that? Why would he? Is he that insecure that I wouldn't go out with him again? But then he didn't call me. You know, he didn't call me again. He went through this whole big rigmarole about, would you go out with me again? and I'm thinking, well, yeah, all right, okay, yeah, I would go out with you again. But then he never called me.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was very weird too. I thought that was very weird. But
That was rude.
yeah. But then again, it's okay because he wasn't the one, and I'm one step closer to the right one.
But then
So,
you don't.
Bill says he's a dumbass. Okay, I agree with that. Can I say that? No, I might have to do an X-ray.
The thing is you kind of left you hanging there though, because you're thinking, okay, he's going to be calling me for a day, so I better not set up anything else, even though there's nothing really for us, nothing going on with us yet. But I should just keep my days open for in case he calls and wants to go out. That's if you like them anyway.
Kathy, you know what? That's a big mistake. Never, ever keep yourself open.
I know, and I've done it so many times, and I don't know why. It's the stupidest thing, and then one of these days I'm going to learn this. I hope I've already.
Yeah, you should never do that, because you know what? You want to fill your time, and I feel this way. You want to fill your time with what you want to do and what's going to make you happy. And sure, maybe he would, but okay, here's the thing. Okay, let's say you're going to go out with a girlfriend, or you're going to do something like that, right? You schedule something to go and do that, and then he calls you. Okay, if you really want to go out with him, you just call your girlfriend and say, hey, this guy called me and I'm going to go out. I mean, most girls will be okay about that. It's okay to do that. But what you can't really do is if you say you're going to go out with another guy and then this other guy calls you, the one you kind of really like more, it's kind of bad ditching the other guy for this guy, because you don't know where it's going to go. But
yeah, you might run into each other.
Yeah. So, the thing is you really shouldn't play games. I mean, but you're not exclusive yet. So you have the right to go out with whoever you want. And if he didn't call you first, yeah. And my ex-husband, I remember when I met him, he wanted to take me out. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I already have plans. And he'll break the plans. I said, well, you wouldn't want me to break the plans with you, would you? I said, I can't break the plans. Well, I didn't tell him that it wasn't because I had a date. I didn't tell him that I had children. I had to go home and make them dinner, so I couldn't tell the kids, I can't make you dinner tonight, but I had already. So, but I didn't want to tell him yet that I had, kids yet, because I had just met him, those are the days when you meet people, not on the dating site, but you meet them out and about. But yeah, so that was like, oh man. But he always thought that I had someone. No suit for me. You're funny. And he always thought that I had a date, but I didn't tell him until later on that it wasn't a date. It was somebody else. So that drove him nuts, thinking that I was out with somebody else. So yeah. So I don't think it's like a bad idea to keep him on the hook a little bit. But yeah. So, all right. Well, we're going to have to close the show. It went by fast. Anything that we need to talk about we didn't say? Now that Derek's not here, we can say whatever we want.
He's not here? No, just kidding.
He's probably listening to us.
Derek is sick. No, I was going to say.
We do miss you, Derek. We do miss the guys. The guy.
Yeah, Derek, you should have been talking.
Yeah. Should what?
Derek should have been talking.
Yeah, because from a guy's perspective.
Yeah.
So, but he's so nice and everything,
Yeah, okay. So I have a lot of things that I'd like to talk about, for the next show.
You do?
I was kind of glancing at this little thing here, and I was like, wow, this can bring up some subjects here.
Okay. So Kathy's going to give us our next subject for the next show then. So you tell us what it's going to. You don't have to tell us now if you don't want.
I won't tell you right now because there's a lot.
So we'll come up with the next show, but it should be fun. Well, I hope you guys like this. And this is the boy and girl thing. And I am Cece Schatz, and I have with me
Kathy. I hope that we kind of got off the subject a little bit, but I hope that we gave some good info about how a man should look when we go out, when he goes and presents.
So, okay, to recap real quick, guys, you need to, number one, take a shower. You need to smell good. You need to be groomed, your nails cut, wear nice shoes, proper shoes, according to wherever you're going to be at. Of course, we're in Florida, so sometimes you can get away with wearing sandals or something like that. But if you got gross feet,
Wash your hair.
Wash your hair, get your hair cut if you need a haircut, trim your beard or whatever needs to be done.
And if you don't like it, don't do any of that.
Yeah. And well, here's my thought. If you don't want to do that, stay home.
Yeah.
Right? Get off the dating site. Stay home. Go quit wasting your time. If you don't want to be presentable to a woman, stay home. Ladies, same thing. If you don't want to look good, if you don't want to put your foot forward, if you don't want to shine, stay home. You're not ready to date, you know? And who wants to be with somebody that's smelly and whatever? Who wants to be with anybody that's smelly?
And ladies always thank the man for if he pays.
Yes, be polite. Women, be polite, thank them. And you know what I do is when we're out, we're probably gonna let me see. We have another show, so I'm going to have to wrap it up. But like when we're out, I always offer, like when I'm meeting the first time, I offer, would you like me to contribute to this?
Me too.
And if the guy says yes, I pretty much know that it's a done deal. We're done,
Well, if it's just a meeting, especially if I offer to pay myself, I offer to pay for my own when I know that I'm not going to see him again. When I'm like, okay, there's no reason for you to have to pay me or to pay for mine because you're not paying me. You don't have to pay mine because I'm not going to see you anymore.
Bill goes spank or spank.
Shut up.
Right out of the gutter.
All right.
He's with me. He's with me. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so very funny, but I agree with that. I always offer, and if he does, I mean, gosh, if you're just going to get a drink and he can't buy your drink, he's not into you. Yeah.
I had a guy argue with me over a cup of coffee, and I'm like, really, you're going to make me pay for my own coffee?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I agree with that.
I had to say something.
But again, if you pay for it, then you're not obligated. You don't feel obligated, whatever. So that kind of thing. So.
All right, Cece.
Yeah, I know. All right, listen, guys, we got to go. We got another show coming up here. We have Arnie Fonseca Jr., and he's with the Health, Love, and Life show. And he's going to talk about happiness. I think that's going to be really an awesome show. And then after that, we have Dr. Christopher Salute, who is pretty awesome. And, so stick around for that show. So we're going to go to like midnight tonight, I think. So right? We got 10 o'clock and then 11. So yeah, we'll wrap up around midnight. So stick around here. You have nothing to do. We'd like to keep you right here on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And we hope that you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed doing it. We'll be back here, same time, same place next week. And hopefully we'll have our sidekick, Derek Bernard, who is not feeling well tonight. So we hope that he improves. So, all right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Kathy.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. How do I get out now?